baby, I like it raw. Raw Advantage likes it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Hey!
Guess what? This is Chris Kendall from the RawAdvantage.com. If you don't know me by now, it's time you got to know me. My name is Chris Kendall, Raw Advantage homie. Now, I'm a registered holistic nutritionist, raw food lifestyle coach. I've been flowing on a raw food diet for almost 10 years now and studying nutrition for like 15, school 10 years ago. Anyhow, enough of all that fun. You know, you're here now. So if you didn't know me before, you didn't blow it because you're here now. So I hope you enjoy this video. It's a hot topic. It's one that seriously everyone in the world I know of at some point in time battles with, if not for a lifetime, something to grow with, something to share from the heart with in my circumstance. And so enough with the blither blather. Cutting to the chase. You know, get a taste of it right now. It's emotional eating. That's what it's about today. That's what I want to share. You know, if you follow me, like I said, I like to provide common sense and science-based tips on how to apply a raw food or healthier lifestyle, fitness, holistic. You know, I'm a holistic nutritionist, so that's what it's all about to me. And binge eating, emotional eating, you know, all of these things are incredibly stressful and can be a big obstacle in applying a new lifestyle. In fact, I'd seriously say that the emotional side of changing your diet, whether that's emotional due to social or emotional due to detox or other reasons, can be the biggest roadblock to success or to ease in a raw food lifestyle. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring this video to you. Oh, God. Oh, sorry, just found you there. Now, you know, before I go on, I really want to share a story with you guys. And it just kind of shows that no matter how far along on your path you are, or no matter where you're at, you can have bumps along the road, you can do things that you swore you'd never do. And, you know, I remember I was already about 3.5 years into being a vegetarian, and over a year into being a vegan, and about 6-7 months into being a raw foodist, fully all raw, saying, I would never go back on it, there's no way ever, you know, there's absolutely no way in my life I'd ever eat animal products. I'd rather fast until I died, you know. I honestly believed that. I honestly felt that. And I was out on a skateboarding road trip with a bunch of friends. This is now almost 9 years ago. And, you know, they were all partying and drinking and eating McDonald's and skating like champions and having a ball, just laughing and playing. These were all guys that I used to party and drink and smoke with all the time. I'm from that energy, and, you know, I wasn't doing so hot. It was the first road trip I'd ever went on as a raw foodist. I had very little to no money, like seriously $3 a day budget. I wasn't planning things out. I didn't know how to do it. And long story short, within about 6-7 days of barely eating anything, and the things I did eat I wasn't satisfied with even at all, I wasn't skateboarding well. And at that point in time, and still to a degree, my skateboarding dictated my level of happiness. If I wasn't skating good, I was kind of bummed out. But back then, especially so. So I was getting really depressed. I felt like a loser because I was on a separate diet and I couldn't do the things that my friends were doing. I was focusing on the differences instead of really embracing the similarities and coming from heart with that. And one night I snuck out and did something that I swore I would never do. I went out and had a chili cheeseburger and chili cheese fries. I'm not even kidding, it was pretty crazy, it was really unconscious, and I felt horrible physically, but mostly the biggest thing was how horrible I treated myself emotionally and mentally. I hated myself. I literally hated myself. I was like, you are this, you are that, you can't believe you're promoting veganism, saying you'd never do this, and what are you doing? And I kept it a secret. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't even bring it up to a lot of people for a few years because I was really ashamed of it. And you know, that goes into a longer story, which is shared in another time and place, but you know, I just wanted to kind of share that with you, just so you know, like, no matter where you're at, you know, you can find yourself in a stressful, emotional, social situation, and you're really tested. You know, those are the times where you really learn the most, regardless of the way you go. Now, this video could go on forever. This could be like a non-stop video, literally. So I'm just going to try and get into some point-by-point stuff. I want to keep this medium length. Feel free to post your comments below. I can do more videos on the subject in the future. This is something that, you know, I can really readily admit. Hi everyone, my name is Chris, and I'm an emotional eater. This video is for you if you've ever felt like this. Or have you ever felt like this? Tell me, have you ever felt like this? Or have you found yourself doing this? Must get calories in. Maybe you just feel completely distraught and powerless to your base urges or to your urges for food. Ooh, base urges. So I'd really like to get into the why of emotional and binge eating. There's various reasons why we get sucked into this behavior and we create habits that don't really serve us in present day if we're trying to shuffle them away, right? Now, I think that's an important place to start. Understanding that all of our habits were made at some point in time trying to meet a need of ours. Now, maybe now it doesn't really meet that need anymore, or it creates stress in some way and we're looking to change it. But then, having some empathy towards ourselves, having some love towards ourselves for creating that habit in the first place, it was the best we could do in that situation and scenario. Now, growing up in a society that's, instant gratification and complete disassociation or numbing based, it's no wonder why we have these issues with food and with other substances or behaviors that basically distract us. There's an amazing doctor named Dr. Douglas Isle and Alan Goldheimer who have a book that they both co-authored called The Pleasure Trap. Plays on the chemical imbalances and chemical situations that go on inside the mind when you habitually take in some substance or food that basically spikes your mood, right? It's an avoidance of what is in the moment and looking to spike something up and have some kind of like a stimulation or a downer if it's something that's really intense. Sometimes people just want to eat heavy foods and feel nothing at all, right? It's like a distraction. All these different foods that we eat, especially if we're eating lots of processed foods or if we're eating animal products that have different kinds of chemicals and hormones in them, they can really wreak havoc on our internal environment. They can cause us to have sharp up and down mood swings. We're such a society that's based on avoidance and on trying to have quick fixes that, whether it's a pill or a food or sex or drugs or alcohol, a lot of times people are really just looking to push it down, shove it away, and not deal with it right now. And eventually that stuff's gonna fester. Eventually that stuff's gonna build up inside you to a point where you can't take it anymore. When you embark on a cleaner diet, a raw food diet, vegetarian diet, a vegan diet, when you clean up your diet and lifestyle comparatively to what you were doing before, you give your body a surplus amount of energy as well as less toxic load to deal with. With that, your body can start to really dig deep. Now, if you're on a raw food diet, you're going to dig deep. So you're going to be getting into physical and emotional toxemia, energies that are stagnant. They're going to come up. And all of this stuff can be very trying. You can have times where you just feel like you're going to go completely crazy. Have you ever felt like this? I certainly have. There's a reason why I call the raw food diet a vortex of positive change, because again, it really does ask you to look inside, to bare yourself to the world, to check inside your closet, and that can be really emotionally tough. And because we're used to the avoidance or the instant gratification, a lot of times we're not equipped with the habits to try and find ease in that duress, right? To try and find a calm balance. That's another big reason why we find ourselves with these emotional eating habits. And you might ask, what are cravings? Cravings, whether it's for cigarettes or alcohol or cooked food, for a very large part, have to do with your body cleansing out the debris, cleansing out any stagnant energy from those past foods or lifestyle choices that you had. Now, if you look at, cigarettes, for example, it's really the first 3 days after someone quits that they're just like nicking, they're looking for anything, because that crap's flowing through your system, and the only thing that your body knows how to do to get rid of that situation is to intake more of the poison. Same kind of thing with cooked foods. Now, if you're on a raw food diet and you've been steadily improving your diet, and maybe you're subtly under eating, you're not getting enough calories, you start detoxifying at an accelerated rate, all of a sudden you're desiring and thinking about and even dreaming about foods that you haven't for years. I remember when I was, years into the raw food diet, I had dreams of like milkshakes and hamburgers and stuff that I hadn't had for a long time. And when I thought about it, I was like, I'm at the same body weight as I was when I was like 16. when I was eating that crap. It's like those things that we can't handle in the moment get stored. Physical toxemia, and I believe emotional toxemia, gets stored in the adipose, in the fat tissue. And once we unleash that with this raw food diet, once we get down to that base level that we started storing stuff from, we're going to experience those things again. What a blessing. Really what a blessing. More on that later. It's a beautiful thing to note that cravings come in cycles. Just like that, like I said, how stuff gets stored within your internal matrix. As you're moving with it, as you're healing and going through cycles, just like everything in nature, you go through a tough spot, and then it gets easier. It gets easier. You go through a tough spot, it gets easier, and eventually you find yourself in a calm, even place where there's little highs, little lows, little time, little hoes. I don't know how the rest of that song goes. For sure, another reason why you can find yourselves with intense cravings, ups and downs, and stuff like that is nutrient imbalances. If you're really high in something or really low in something else, you might just be feeling off kilter. This comes back to the hormones and all those different types of things going on within your body. And finally, one of the last reasons why I feel that a lot of people have emotional eating issues and things going on around that is when there's a separation between what you think you should do and what you really want. You might read a book, you might see some people and say, hey, that raw food diet looks great, I should do that. I'm overweight, I should do that, I have to do that, I need that. And really though, you're still really enjoying having some baked potatoes or having some vegetables or having whatever it is, it doesn't matter. If there is that attachment and you're trying to force yourself to do something that you just think you should do, there can be a lot of emotional instability there. There can be a lot of back and forth, and that behavior of restriction, what you resist persists. I really believe that. If instead you're moving to something because you truly want it, if you're moving with the things you absolutely love the most, it's going to be a completely different story. Now, for sure, there can be a bit of a balance there, and there can be a bit of a time where you really feel like, hey, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I need to succeed, and you start moving towards that, that it can be tricky, but it is well worth it at the same time, as long as you don't emotionally beat yourself up for not just going whoop and sticking there. A to Z, you're there perfectly. So that brings me into the other points. Hope that kind of covers a little bit of the why. Of course, this isn't an all-inclusive video, but I just want to give you a rundown of the things I've experienced and the things that I'd like to share the most with you. So bless you if you've stuck with me to here. I'm to the solutions, to the ways that we can free ourselves of that cycle of emotional eating and binge eating. And just like all the habits we've accumulated over our lives, we can replace all those habits with things that serve us better. Remembering again that those habits were there for a reason, we've maybe outgrown them. It's happy and blessed to say goodbye to them, say farewell to them, and replace them with something that serves you a lot better. One of the biggest keys to sidestepping emotional eating and binge cycle eating is to become more stress-free. Stress is as detrimental to your health as eating cheeseburgers every day. I totally believe that 100%. Stress we carry with us, stress we hold on us, stress we tightens our entire matrix, stress tightens every single thing within our body up and just stagnates. Stress for the most part comes from being outside of the moment. It comes from looking too far into the future, looking into the past and worrying about it and what's gonna happen then, and what if I can't do this. It's like, I gotta be raw for the rest of my life, and it's like, this is so stressful. It's like, come into the moment. Come into right now. That's the only thing that matters. Right now, what do you feel? What do you need? What best serves you? How can you find peace and ease right now? That's the question I ask you. How can you find peace and ease right now? And I'm not saying peas and ease. I'm saying peace and ease right now. And that's a few breaths. It's coming down into your center. That's reaching out, right? Like this, see? That's like reaching out and connecting with a friend. Reaching out and connecting with someone you love and sharing with them how much you care. If that's going out to nature and connecting with nature, connecting with the Supreme, connecting with, animals or a stream, anything. If that's connecting more with yourself, sitting down and meditating, listening to your favorite tune, doing a little bit of a dance, it might even be a pouty pants dance. You might be like, I don't like this, this sucks, or having a bath, whatever it is, exercise, whatever it is, you can find a million different ways to de-stress, and the more ways you have, the more likely you're going to fit any and every situation. Because sometimes you're just like, no, I don't want to sit down and meditate. I can't reach out to my friend. But you can have your party pass dance, you know? You can do whatever the heck you want. So that is a really huge thing, you know, being honest with yourself, feeling what you're feeling, and allowing yourself to feel it. Have gratitude for that feeling. It's telling you what you're needing. It's at least pointing in the direction of your unmet needs. And if you can find a way to meet those needs instead of shoving them down, you're going to have a lot less digestive fermentation, emotional fermentation, and you're just going to feel a heck of a lot lighter and better. I really like to just look at stress as a signpost. It's the most useful thing in the world. It's like, oh, there's that. Okay, what am I feeling and needing? It's just telling you that. It's just asking you to look within. Oh, what am I feeling and needing right now? How can I find that peace and ease right now? Okay, you know, and then that way, stress becomes a springboard to positive change. It becomes a springboard into doing things that get you where you want to go, instead of another rock to throw in your backpack and get weighed down by, like, oh, I'm gonna fall over because I have so many rocks in my bag. The next biggest tip I have for releasing stress and for, you know, breaking that cycle of emotional and binge eating is having complete peace and ease in whatever you choose. And the measure of usefulness in perception to me is how much peace and ease it brings you. What that really is understanding that everything is okay. It doesn't matter what you choose. What matters more so, if you're looking to gain experience, to move through your choices, is to be conscious in them. So often when we're eating junk food, or if we're performing something that we don't want to be, or if we're doing something that, you know, doesn't fit our mode of what we think is right and wrong or good and bad, you know, we're judging ourselves, A, you know, and B, we're not conscious. You know, we're anywhere else. Have you ever had that experience? I remember when I used to eat chips. You're like, whoa, what the heck? The whole bag's gone? How'd that happen? You weren't conscious. You know, I really do believe, and from what I perceive and see others and read from books and stuff like that, that we are experiential beings. We're here to experience. You know, we're here to take in everything. You know, and with that is through that conscious experience that we actually get to fully experience it on an experiential level, feel it, live it, love it, and let it go. It's those unconscious experiences that we tend to experience over and over and over again. And we go, I don't know why I keep on doing this. Well, you're not experiencing it. You're doing it, but you're not conscious in it. And if you can allow yourself guilt-free, judgment-free to do anything you want, but be conscious in it, you can really let it go. I can honestly say the last time I had a meal of cooked food, because I've had a couple bites here and there, you know, but that's another story. But last time I had a big meal of cooked food, it was because I was emotionally distressed. I gave myself a week, and I said, you know what, if at the end of the week I still want that, I'm going to do it. And I allowed myself to have it. And I was like, that's fine. This is almost 3 years ago now. I was like, whatever. I'm going to have it. I really want it. I'm going to be conscious in it. I'm not going to judge myself. It doesn't make or break who I am, because all of us at spirit are the same. And I'm just going to allow myself to do this and sit with it in love and be conscious. And seriously, it changed my entire relationship with food. All of a sudden, it was like a weight was off of me, and it wasn't, oh, I can't do that, I shouldn't do that. It was, yeah, I can do whatever the heck I want at any time. What do I want to do? I want to do this. All right, let's experience it. Let's be with it. And what I found when I was actually there, experiencing it without judgment, without experiencing instead the judgment and the feeling that comes from that, experiencing the actual action, I didn't really enjoy it. I was like, this isn't at all what I thought it was going to be. It was that resistance that was attracting me to it. You know, it was that persistent resistance. I was just like, no, can't. Then all of a sudden, I was like, whoa, gotta go there. You know, and seriously, since then, it's just been a completely different story. You know, I could choose cooked food anytime I want. I could choose anything I want. I could go eat a steak. I could eat that. And, you know, I just don't want to. So it's easy, right? So I really do think that it comes through acceptance, self-love, complete honesty with yourself, and just moving through with conscious experience. Sometimes it takes, you know, going into that consciously and feeling, what am I feeling before, during, and after? Is this meeting my needs? That's a huge thing. It's like, what need am I trying to fulfill with this? Is it because I really want this, or is it because I'm trying to avoid something, or because I feel like I'm left out, or because, I want to experience old feelings and flavors and textures that I used to do. Whatever it is, it's find out what that need is and see if that will meet it, and if not, sidestep it and find something else. My third, and one of my absolute biggest tips for stopping that binge cycle of eating and eliminating emotional eating, or at least bringing it to a really reasonable and reduced setting, is to find a diet and stick with the diet for the most part, move into a diet for the most part, or a lifestyle that leaves you fully satisfied, that is full of the foods you love, and gets you the results you're looking for. Now, a lot of people would say, oh, there's no such diet. Well, again, if you've been following me for a while, you know what I'm all about. I'm about the raw food diet, a diet just rich in fruits and vegetables, a little bit lower in fat. It comes from the concept of high carbohydrate, low fat, low protein, as found in like the China study, Dr. Dean Ornish, Dr. Furman, Dr. McDougall, and the phrase 80-10-10 coined by Dr. Douglas Graham, an over 30-year raw fooder, my mentor, bless you Doug. Really I do find that this lifestyle, once applied, once you've gotten through some of the social and emotional bumps, which we're kind of talking about how you can get through some of that stuff right now, it is literally food-wise the easiest and most satisfying diet in the world. I think hands down. I'm a big foodie, and I love all food. Literally, there's like one thing I did not like in my life. It was like these gross oysters a long time ago. But I love all food, but I love fruit. And the more of you eat, the more low fat you eat, your tastes, your preferences change, your physiology changes to support eating higher quantities of fruit, bigger meals. You want to feel more active, you start to want to run around a lot more, which supports the whole game, and really it balances you out in all those areas that we talked about, emotionally and hormonally. It starts to bring you in check, and that's why stuff starts coming up. But learning through those experiences, building coping mechanisms, and being consistent with it can really bring you to a calm, balanced state where you're eating for nourishment and enjoyment. You're not eating for enjoyment, or you're not eating for avoidance first, which there's a lot of people who really live to eat. I'd way rather eat to live and enjoy it in that way. Now, very, very simply, the diet I promote: when you're hungry, eat fruit. Eat the fruit you love the most. No restriction. If you want another bite, go for it. Go for another 2 or 3. It's almost impossible to overeat on fruit unless you're not conscious. Like we talked about, it doesn't matter what you're eating. If you're not conscious, you're just shoving it in for avoidance or for an intellectual reason, like I gotta get 1,000 calories. Blah. It doesn't really serve healthy eating habits. It doesn't serve your best interest with digestion and absorption, and it doesn't serve your best interest with becoming more in tune with your body. So that's a huge one to me. If you're interested in learning more about raw food, if you want a million awesome recipes, well, technically 101 freaking awesome recipes, 101 freaking awesome recipes, 101 freaking awesome recipes. Check it out. It's up by donation. Half the proceeds go to my own nonprofit, the TRA Dream, set up to bring healing retreat centers by donation or donation-based all over the world. It's rolling, it's growing. And find out more about the TRA Dream here. Get 101 freaking awesome recipes here. And my newest book, TRA Retreat Treats, which I co-wrote with Megan Elizabeth. The recipes that are some of my all-time favorites, the cravings busters ones, the ones that are a little bit more intense. This is all very, very simple raw food hygienic. These TRA Retreat Treats recipes are really like pad Thai and East Indian and Mexican and Italian and Mediterranean, more fancy recipes that are still really simple, digest well, and are delicious. Having things like that, having crutches, having recipes that, you may not go from A to Z and go from, emotional eater to yogi who's just going to meditate every time you feel it and go within. Maybe you have a segue in between, a B, C, D. Enjoy the middle time, having these recipes that may serve a little bit of a stress reduction purpose, but at the same time they digest well. You're not loading yourself up with crap, right? That can really, really help. So my last tip to kind of wrap this all up is learning to come to peace and ease with what you want and what you think you should do. understanding that what you think you should do, that's kind of like, the goal, right? That's like where you're moving, that's the direction you're going in. What you want in the moment, that's the path, Moving with all these tips I said, having some recipes that you can go back on, recipes that you can enjoy and provide a much easier time for you. Finding those habits that really support you, whether it's the meditation, the walking in nature, the connecting with friends, and all those types of things. The more ways that you can support yourself, the better, right? And, in the end though, being at complete ease with yourself, being very, very loving, giving yourself a generous dose of self-love, acceptance, and empathy that, you've been living in a certain way and bombarded by certain energies and perceptions by the society in general for your lifetime. And it can take a little while for you to stretch and grow and to move through all that and feel a little better, feel more comfortable within your own skin with what you're doing. It can feel like you're swimming upstream, changing your lifestyle, but you're not alone. There's a lot of people out there, there's a lot of support. If you want a little bit more customized support and customized information on how to apply a raw food holistic lifestyle, I offer coaching online, Skype, phone, in person if I'm available, all by donation. I just love to connect. I absolutely love to share and to grow together with you and with people in general. There's nothing that makes me happier than finding out that I've impacted someone in a positive way. So I really, really hope that you love this video. Whether you're looking to tone up so you look good on the beach, or you're just trying to feel better because you're sick, or you've had a lifetime of struggle and strife, or you just want to live a longer, happier, holistic lifestyle. Raw food diet and these simple tips I really do believe can really help you get there. So again, much love from therawvantage.com. Please comment, please like, check me out. I got a lot of different videos, a lot of different types, day in the life and skateboarding and this and that, I got a lot of stuff. So check it all out, go here, go there, touch like, say comment, share on Facebook. A lot of fun, exciting things coming in the future. Woodstock Fruit Festival just around the corner. Got my new book, got my brand new website. Check out my site, it's a lot of fun. 3 free ebooks just for signing up to my mailing list. And I'm going to keep on blabbing until I say, cutting it out. Peace, love, and seasonal fruit. Ooh, got tons of shirts on my site, Pretty hot, right? Psst. They're there. therawvantage.com. Check it out. Much love.
Emotional eating.
Mellow out, sucker! Check out these videos. Top 4 sources of vitamin D is raw vegan. World Vegan Day. Why I love being a vegan. And get your free ebooks by clicking here.